fact, when I was in Jamaica, I keynoted the Garvey celebration last summer, Ocho Rios. The Chinese pretty much own Jamaica. I mean, the Jamaican government is giving them concessions, land concessions. They're building hotels, beach resorts. They're building 2 schools for the Japanese, for the Jamaicans. And what the Jamaicans have to give them in turn is the right to certain lands, the right to certain waterways. And if it doesn't stop, Jamaica, ironically, the land of Marcus Garvey and Bob Marley, will be the first Chinese colony in the Caribbean.
Wow.
It's getting bad. And you know why it's happening? Because the black bourgeoisie leadership in both Africa and the Caribbean, they don't have to live with the consequences of the economic decisions they make. So if I'm the president of Jamaica, okay, and China says, listen, we're going to give you $1 million in retirement. We're going to build you a retirement home, but we want this, this, and this. And you can loan as much money as you want. You can borrow as much money from the Bank of China as you want. I'm going to be set by the time I leave office. But what about my nation? Jamaica will be struggling for the next 50 and 75 years because of bad economic decisions from selfish leaders today. And that's the problem in Africa, and it's the problem in the Caribbean islands. Got to remember, China is overpopulated. So it's always looking for opportunities to dump some of its excess population.
Right.
And you know what's so sad? Chinese will come to South Africa poor with nothing. And in 3 years, they're owning 2 and 3 major businesses. Because what happens is when the Chinese come, they employ their own. They don't employ indigenous African labor. But this is exactly what the heads of state tell black people. Let the Chinese come to Jamaica. Let them come to South Africa. They're going to give you guys jobs. The jobs never come. They bring their own population, which makes sense from their perspective because they have so many people that need a place to go outside of China. So they're showing up broke and going back home as millionaires.
I was just thinking that. Have you ever went to a Chinese food store and seen anything other than a Chinese person?
Yeah,
I've never.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to this forum with Big Stone. 2 days ago, I did a very interesting video. And you can say this video went viral with almost 40,000 views in 2 days and over 400 comments from all over the world concerned about where their country is going. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you'd be appalled by the amount of comments talking about the Chinese wanting to take over Jamaica. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I just played a tape for you with Dr. Umar Johnson, a Pan-Africanist. They call him the Prince of Pan-Africanism. And he said when he was invited by IRA FM to come to Jamaica last year to be their keynote speaker for the Honorable Marcus Garvey's birthday celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, it is appalling some of the things that he had to say in his video about what he saw in Jamaica about how the Chinese are taking over this country. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not here to badge. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have no personal grudge against the Chinese. I think the Chinese that came here from yesteryear have done great work and have done great service to this country. The Chinese is part of building this country. So we salute the Chinese. This is not a deliberate attack on the Chinese. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to bring this to your attention. An article that came out Sunday, November 6, 2016. It is an article, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm going to read to you, and you be the judge to find out if Jamaica is going to be the first Chinese colonized country. Now, the article reads as this. It says Brownstown merchants said Chinese business is killing them. Now, ladies and gentlemen, just hold tight while I scroll up and read what this article have to say. It says Romaine Jackson and his cousin Junior William speak of the impact of Asian-operated business on the family-run supermarket. Local merchants in Brownstown, St. Anne, believe the growth of Chinese-operated businesses is slowly crippling the success of Jamaican-run entities. In our visit last week to the community, there were over 20 Chinese-operated establishments, which, according to local merchants, have caused a serious decline in their sales. If you should go around Brownstown, when I started work in Brownstown, there was no Chinese here. And right now, it is just the two of us that is left as black men. Me and the man across the street. A man who identified himself only as Lynch stated. His 12-year-old supermarket has only stayed afloat because of what he described as his loyal customers. It has impacted the business tremendously, and I don't know how them get for them goods. I don't know how them do it, but you cannot compete with them, Lynch told the newspaper. I must be honest with you, I can't compete with their prices. What they do, I don't know, he added. He said that before the increase of Asian businesses, roughly 5 years ago, mainly Jamaicans operated business in Brownstown. But according to him, over time, the Chinese bought out most of the businesses. That building was here for about 100 years, from generation to generation, and the man them come sell it out. Of course, there's one right across there, right at the roundabout. There, it was a black man own it, and they sell it to the Chinese, he said. When asked why the Jamaicans were selling their businesses, he suggested that money was at the root of it. It's quick money. They can get the money, the Chinese give them any money for it, so any money they ask for, the Chinese give to them. Lynch described the Chinese merchant as brazen, noting that they propositioned him daily in an attempt to get him to relinquish his business to them. He recalled one particular exchange. Last month, one called me. Would you rent me the business? He said, mimicking the Chinese accent. I said, how much you would give me for it? And the man says, I'll give you anything. And he offered me a ridiculous price. He continued, disclosing that he declined the offer. Though he recognized that the Jamaican operators were partly to blame for the increase, Lynch maintained that the government was also at fault. There's a concessionary thing that the government gives to them. I don't know if it's 5-year tax-free or what. Now, when that is finished after the 5 years, is the same relative come and take it over, So you just change the name and they go on and on and on like this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't have to go even much further into that newspaper article. But is there a concession between the government of Jamaica and the Chinese people? Is there a 5-year tax break that every Chinese businessman gets when he comes into this country? Is there a 5-year tax break? And is there this kind of, and I would call it a con that is going on, where one Chinese businessman comes in, he stays in the business for 5 years, getting his tax-free waiver, of course, and after 5 years, all he does is to just move out of that position, call a cousin or a friend, still owning the business, and all they do is just change the name. When another 5 year comes, they just repeat the process. So what are you telling me? A Chinese national can come here and get these type of break, and after 5 years they can just ease on out of the business and a new Chinese move in and this continues? What about the Jamaicans here? Young, budding entrepreneur that need loans. They need grants to start some of these well thought out business that they have. Are they getting the support, just like the Chinese, from the government? Jamaica, we need to ask ourselves these questions because it is very important. And as Dr. Umar said, we're losing Jamaica. I don't want to give up this beautiful country. I don't want to. I did a video yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, and that video went viral. In less than 48 hours, I had almost 40,000 people viewing the video. I had over 400 comments from concerned people all over the world. What is going on? Who is taking over Jamaica? Who wants to take over Jamaica? So there are concerned Jamaica out there that are very concerned. They're very concerned about their country and they want to know what's going on. There are some people who said, and you all could read the comments for yourself, because I'm not making this up, ladies and gentlemen. But there are some people who are pointing finger at the Chinese for this high crime rate that we're experiencing. Is this a conspiracy theory, or is there some truth to it? Last night, July 3rd, was my birthday, and ladies and gentlemen, 6 people lost their lives, including a member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. Also, ladies and gentlemen, an 11-month baby was also shot and is hospitalized, experiencing serious conditions. Jamaica, I'm not going to be long on this one, but I want you to come in with your comments. I want you to comment among yourself. Talk to each other. Get in touch with your family members down here. See what is happening. Our ancestors bled and died for this country, and we cannot just sit back and not fight in their honor. So Jamaica, this is our country. We want this country. Dr. Omar is saying that the Chinese population is well over 1 billion people. The Chinese are practically living on water in China. So they're in desperate need for land space to put their people. And guess what? It seems like they want to bring them to Jamaica. Jamaica, the population here is about 90% black. This is our country. We worked and we slaved and we died for this country. Wake up Jamaica. Start loving yourself, my brother. Stop the killing of your own brothers and sisters, even though it might be induced in the water and the chemicals that they use against us. Try and see if you can combat this monster, because we cannot afford to just sit by and watch our country go to waste. Jamaica, I love you, and this is the reason why I bring you as much information as possible. I cannot say hard fast that this is the truth, but ladies and gentlemen, Jamaicans are no idiots, you know. We no fool. Jamaicans can decipher, and we can see what the hell is going on. Thank you very much for watching, and I do hope you have a great day. Thank you.